We are live now.
Hello and welcome to IISc Triple IT Kalyani's Game Jam, and this is our session where we will be going through the basics of Unity and helping you create a terrain and a first-person shooter. With me, I have Anubhav Ghosh, Tathagat Roy, Nimish Mishra, and I'm Abhinandan Pal. We will be taking you through the basics of Unity, and we start with a this will be what we are in this series of 2 or 3 videos. This is what we aspire at making. I'm just going to run it once and show it to you. This is a basic FPS within a terrain and normal player movement and the mouse look. So now I'm going to quit this Unity project and create a new one. You must have downloaded the Unity hub. This is the app image. Yeah. And there in under install, if you haven't already added a Unity version, you can click on add and then add the Unity version you require. We recommend using 2019 LTS because it's a long time support. And then projects, go to new. In new projects, create a 3D project, and for now I'm going to name it I Can Walk. Uh, with time there will appear a lot more other templates, basic templates which it's currently loading, but we don't need to wait for them. So we're just going to go for 3D, create. It will take some time to create the basic project, so hold on with me. While it does that, I'll go through the Unity asset store. While making projects, it's not always possible for you to make each and every asset. So that is when you use the asset store, and in this asset store, you can find various assets. Like for this one, we will be using few of these assets, coniferous trees. Let me log in and take this. Yes, whatever assets you click on my say store in my assets, basically whichever assets you purchase are there in this list. Most of all of the ones I have purchased are free assets. For this project, we will be using the coniferous, the grass flower package free, outdoor grounds texture, and Unity's basic terrain tools. Unity has in earlier versions this asset was present by default, but now to save space they have added it. You have to add it additionally when you want to build a terrain. So this is how it begins. You might get a bit of a different view, so you can just drag and place this wherever you want. I have preferred to keep this game above. You can close the animation, you don't need animation. So I have kept the game view above and scene view here. Now let me shift the game view also here. This is the main hierarchy region where we will keep all of the objects. Here is the inspector for each one of the objects, and there is the lighting settings. And there is our folders with all the scenes. We have only one scene, the sample scene, which is currently open right now. Now we will be starting our. Now we'll be starting download those assets which I told you. So you can go to asset store. Now in this asset store, basically opens the browser with the asset store page open. Go to my assets. We would recommend use the browser for finding your assets, and when you are done with finding your assets, just import it from here. The assets which I told you I would be importing, coniferous. Give it a minute, it will take this takes some time sometimes. At first, if you haven't downloaded it yet, it will give you a download button. After you have downloaded, you can import it. You need to download only once, but you will have to import it each time for a project. While it is being done, like if you wish to create assets on your own and it's graphical assets, you can always use Blender. It's a really good tool. You'll find a lot of amazing YouTube videos about Blender. There are various tools also to make trees and flowers in blenders. So here the coniferous is loaded. So this is the asset set they have. I have imported. I'm importing the grass also. Until till then we are going to look at the coniferous. In this coniferous package, okay, they have suspended clicks until I complete the import. So you have to wait for it. Yes, the grass flower is also here. And the Unity is terrain. The additional kit I'll be doing it later so as to show you the difference with the default one which they give these days. Yes, so you can see like here we have all of the folders which they had inside the package. In the prefabs you can see all of the trees. And now let's start with the terrain. Let's go to the scene view. Right click, 3D object, terrain. Here appears the terrain. So right click and move your mouse to rotate on a single point. You can right click and press WASD to free fly, like various games allow you these days to free fly through the terrain after you are dead. You can press shift and then you can press shift and move in this way also. With time you'll get more used to with the motion system. Let me just move a bit away. Like you can click on the center cursor and move in and move the mouse to move in the to drag up and drag down. And you can click on an object and then press F to focus on it. So now I have the terrain. Now I'll go to the inspector of the terrain. In settings, first you can set the size of the terrain 1000 by 1000, height 600, details 32, detail resolution 1024. These are the defaults. I'll keep it that way. Now this section is to add terrain beside, like you were not satisfied with the size of this terrain and you want one beside this, so you can expand using this. And this is the second section. This, let's go to raise and lower terrain. Now you can see the number of brushes are rather less. If you want more brushes, go to asset store and get this Unity's terrain tool. It will get you a lot more brushes and a lot of other features related to terrain. Earlier they used to have it directly with the Unity installation, but now they have turned it into a package. This is done so that because not everyone uses the terrain system, so there's no point in giving 320 MBs extra to everyone. As it has been clear to you by now that import takes time and it doesn't literally really allow you to do anything while it's doing that. So let's have to wait. Okay, so we are done. Like you don't see any changes here, so let's just okay, then it works. Well, it will take some time to load. Yes, now you can see a lot more options in here. So now let's go here, get our mouse looking in a proper direction, which is helpful for us. Get a better view. Yes, this looks nice. Now I'm going to choose a brush. Same. Let's say to take this brush for now. Now you can see the brushes in there, but it's extremely small, so I increase the brush size. But that's too big. Yes, this is a proper brush size. Opacity is also less. So you can see it's distorting the ground as I click on it. So let's just make something out. Like for now, I'm just going to be random. Not really trying to make anything like a proper look, but let's see. Just add this. Now I'll show one more thing, that is you can click shift and then you can smooth the terrain at that portion like this. So whenever you have created something you don't like, you can just click this way. So let's just reform it again. Now let's say we want a hilly sort of, so let's increase the opacity. Not really giving it much thought, I'm just doing a random terrain right now. When using at a game, just think of the game design and whatever would be helpful for the level 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 map design is a very important part. Hiding con, if you have enemy bots or something like that, places that can help you hide. For a basic terrain, I guess this is okay. Let's add a bit of go through all the brushes at your leisure and like just get to know them at a better way. Now let's go to yes. Now let's go for pen texture. Now see that at the basic level you will be having textures. You can think of it's like an image, and there are normal maps and various other forms of image. Let's not go into details of that. You can think of it as a sort of an image which you keep placing and repeating on your map. So you have a basic image of say grass and rocks and pebbles falling lying on the ground, and you keep repeating it on the ground, and that is how you give it the basic texture. So let's edit, add a layer. Now let's go for moss. I like moss. Okay. So this is the basic texture. I know it doesn't look that good. Let's go in front, then you can see it in more details. Yes. Now you can see it's not really that bad, but like by default it's not really that good. So what was I? So yeah. And you can now go to okay, yes, I'm already in the edit mode, like the edit mode comes below here. So you can change these values. Let's try making it 10. Okay, 10 was a bad idea. 1 is too less. Let's think of put 2 or 3. 2 clicked it for me. See it. This this looks nice. You can go through various values in here, change the metallic, smoothness. Keep altering it until it clicks for you. Now let's zoom out a bit. Now let's say let's add another texture. Sorry, let's add rock. Brush. I need a more plain brush. Need to severely decrease the size of the brush. Opacity also decrease. Yes. Let's say there is a stone path somehow. It's a fantasy, and somehow people have made a path out of rocks instead of whatever it's actually made with. Just going for a random path, like do it as fit according to your game. Like it's the level design, so it depends upon your game. I'm just doing a random one just to show you the tools right now. Sometimes it gets stuck. Not a good idea. So putting up this thick sand wasn't a good idea beside it. So like what we can do is go to edit and then make sure it's selected and then remove layer. Now say like at any portion we don't want this rock. So here is a bit of rock which I don't want. Oh, let me get it in my viewpoint. Yes. So here's a bit of rock I don't want. So keep this selected and here, and then I press shift and then click. This I do idea that didn't work properly. Okay, it does. I just over painted with it with the moss. So like this you can create roads and then add one more thing that is very useful is like creating a cube which is to represent a human height. So like let's do that. Like where did it get placed in here? Among here there are a few buttons. This one is for transform, sorry. This helps you to move it along the space. This is for rotate. This is for sizing it. This is for sizing but in a different manner. Control Z it. This is all the tools at once. I personally find it a bit confusing, so I prefer using them individually. So now let's put it of a human size. That's right about a human size, 2:1:1. Now let's place it on the ground. Where did it go? Up here. This will give you an idea about how to set how thick to keep the roads and other various things. Now that we are done with the basic road, like if you see from here, it looks mostly like a ground. You need to like go through the values, trying finding the optimal values in them. I'll not go into much detail because that's a bit time consuming. But after a point, you will get a really realistic look after you have moved through the metallic and the smoothness value and put a proper normal scale. So now after this, let's go for the sabot graph. Let's do for the grasses. Tree would be better first. Let's do with trees now. So like here, you will see an option which is called trees. In this top, here there is a tree. Then there is paint tree. Inside there, you need to add a tree. So edit trees, add tree. And here you see I had downloaded the coniferous asset, so I have a few trees in here. Let's take this one and add it here. Now the tree is here, so we'll go back a bit so that we can get a better view. Yes, this is a better look point. So going back to the trees. Now let's just try putting it once. See, here are the trees, but it's way too dense. I'm just going to shift and delete it. We don't want that dense. We want, let's first decrease the brush size so that we can control it better where to place the trees. And now let's decrease the number of trees. I don't want that dense like it was last time. This is the proper density of trees, I guess. Away from the rocks. Trees don't grow on rocks, I guess. Honestly, even this is too dense. I just want to decrease the density because I'll be adding a few more other varieties of trees, so like just keeping it low right now. Yeah, this works. Let's add another kind of tree. Let's go for this one. You can notice that these trees are like lot larger in height. Now one more thing is you might not directly like how those trees appear at first. Let's concentrate on this large pine, and now we can go for edit. Actually, they are by default there are much editing options. There are editing options for grass, but for tree there aren't many. You can download assets for them which allow you to get more modularity when it comes to trees. I'll be showing you that level of modularity with the grasses. For trees, you need to download other assets. Let's go for the grass. Add grass texture. Now, let's just search grass, it will be helpful. So, which one is a good basic grass? Let's just go with this one, grass 0.14 by default. Brush size severely decrease. That was way too severe. Yes, you can see grass is being added to the side of the road. Too less of an opacity. Grasses usually are used in abundance. Now in this grass which I was talking about, edit. In trees we had really less editing scope, but in here we have a lot. So you can change the basic look of the tree. See, a bit more darkish green. Take it in here a bit. And for here, let's just merge into the ground. So somewhere here it looks good. Now you can also change the look. Like I like how Unity does this thing. Reminds me of using Windows XP. Anyways, let's wait for it to move up. Let's see, let's put a flower. Yeah, this flower looks nice. Go for the one that suits your scene. Like you can go for you put a lot of trees, grass, and random, and then choose the best one for you. It suits. Let's go with this one now. The height, let's put 0. It's grass, so it's like should be really small. Mean height 0.5 and max height we want. That's still a lot for grass. Okay. Now let's add another grass texture. Let's just boom opacity on once and see how much deep it goes. Can be a bad idea, but nah, it wasn't that bad idea. Bit of it went in the shift click and remove them. Just put a lot of grass in here. Using Blender has made my capacity to move around in real bad because they have similar but different settings. Just keep using the Blender buttons. And the target strength was low, that's why it was doing less. Just brush upon really vegetative land. Yeah, looks reasonable. Continue with this like whole throughout the map. One thing to note is that when you move farther away, you will see the grass disappears, and even the quality of the tree severely decrease. In most games, this happen, but you will probably not notice this because there aren't any. You don't get to be like meters away from a spot and be able to see it. And that's how the games are usually designed. It just loads it when you are near, and if you have any experience playing Cyberpunk, you know what I mean. They just don't care about loading. Sometimes it's just artistic, the most artistic thing you have seen, and then sometimes it's just the state PlayStation 1 hybrid. But Unity does it pretty well. Like at this point, there's no point in showing the grasses over there, so they have not. But when we go closer, the quality improves, and here it's in the perfect quality. This is actually using it as a texture, but you can also import these grasses as a mesh. There are various assets you will find which uses grasses as mesh. Uh, there is one I remember, it was flood something. Let me search for flood grass. If I don't get it in one chance, I'll just skip it over. And for the second attempt. Yes, this was it for flooded ground. It has really nice grass textures. It's really huge in size. I'm just not want to show it right now. And here the trees are done as meshes, so it gets much better quality. So it's mostly here, and know about this thing. This doesn't look that good yet, so this one thing I recommend doing is that going to the game settings, project settings, sorry. Inside, we're right now making it for our PC. Can't recall where it was exactly. Like it was a little bit hidden. Like it was in advanced sections, and there are you change the gamma from gamma to linear. That completely changed the way the light is tracked, and that completely helps you with the graphics. I guess it was under player maybe. Yes, under player you go to PC, and then here you will have under other settings gamma, make it linear. It will significantly change the graphic quality, but it will take some time to get there. I personally I like to do it at the very end of the game because there is like a huge boom in graphics, and I really like that. Well, like you're playing the making a game which looks like a 2010 game, and suddenly you click on a button and it looks like a 2014 game. Yeah, yeah, long, way past 2020, but still, it's just a few. With you need to get to make a game with just 3 to 4 people, and you can obviously make games with the quality of Unreal Engine, but that will take a larger team, a lot of processing speed. Like currently, I'm not even using a GPU. I'm using my Intel, and you can see it's not even using much RAM.
One thing, if you actually enable linear color space instead of gamma, it will may not work on phone. On
Yes, that's
Android
true.
and
It's an
iOS, it is not
interface.
well supported.
That's true. Like, that's why it's if you're using it for PC, then go for linear, or else you can just use normal. This game jam is usually like considered on PC, so I recommended this. Be a bit more interactive, people. Like seriously, like this was the first time someone spoke. And if you can like, notice, like the grass is like much better now. It's much more realistic than before. In the rendering path, you can make it deferred, and then get deferred rendering, which is absolute the quality. Look now. Okay, the trees become really weird. Damn, the trees look weird. Let's switch back. Usually deferred rendering gives a better view, but sometimes it just depends on the lighting and stuff. Does look really more realistic and no, it doesn't. Let's go back to the previous one. It's back to normal. And one more thing I wanted to show you about we'll use this terrain in itself. I've just created one small side, and you'll have to keep doing it for the rest of the map. If you realize this map is like really huge compared to the part we have done, can't even you can literally not see that thing when you are putting a this. You just see one or two pine trees. Even the road is not properly visible. Okay, it's a hard thing going back. Hopefully, I reach there someday. Oh, one more really important thing, but it's going to be a bit difficult, and that is pressing Control S. I keep forgetting that. That is probably the most difficult step in the whole of gaming and coding in general. Let's, so now let's go and add a package, package manager. Let's add a bit of post processing. So wait for the packages to load. It will possibly not take forever. Yes, post processing, install this. If you have experience with video editing or image editing, like you'll know that there are various tools and they allow you to use it in Unity as it says processing because basically after the render at the end it will process your image and make it look better like add chromatic aversion or basically add planes distort or motion blur, whatever you want. Even Blender has a post processing, but personally I like the Unity's more. But like both are for completely different purposes. I just have no idea why I mentioned that. I just have a bit of hatred towards Blender's post processing. I like doing this. Reminds me of childhood. Yes, it's done. Let's create an empty. Let's name it processing. Post process. Can't type the too lazy. Search in here post processing. Wrong one. Keep forgetting which one it was. Hope it was layer. Yes, I think it was layer.
The layer has to be added to the camera.
Okay, yes, sorry, the layer has to be added to camera. Forgetting this stuff.
And the post processing object should get the normal volume component. Also, you want to set it global and create a new profile.
Okay, so let's go to the game view one sec. For this, we'll go to the game view. Amazing position for the camera to be. Let's see where the player is. Cube's location. Let's just drag the camera under the cube. Put it inside the cube, and now let's place it at 0, 0, 0 with respect to the cube. Now let's focus on the cube. Yes, now you can see the camera. Not sure why the camera isn't giving the proper view now. Sure, like in the camera view it's okay, but in the game view it's just like hitting the play buttons. There aren't any additional cameras either. I don't have any idea why the game view isn't showing this the proper camera, because I don't see any other camera. Which one is it using?
Maybe delete and re-add it.
Okay. Okay. Deleting and re-adding did work. Nice. Love my life. Let's set the camera in a proper location where you'll get a better view from. Facing those grass area. Well, doesn't look like a bad view. It's okay for a view. Covers the road, grass, and the tree. Let's go to the game view. Okay, I take back my words of saying it was not a bad view. Okay, about this. Yeah, not that bad. Isn't the kind of not having that charm really? So ambient occlusion was added. Like whenever you need to edit one thing, like click on it, change the intensity for some. You can understand the change, I guess. We click on it, it gets deleted. If you are not changing something much, don't keep them clicked because it's obviously taking a processing power to post process it. If you're not using this, I'm just going to remove. Not sure if that worked properly because let's just try with the vagrants. No, it's not working properly. I was having this error yesterday. I also can't remember recall how to change it. Like
I
I don't
think you
remember how to
forgot
fix
to
it.
add the post processing component to camera, the new camera.
Okay, yeah, we didn't add it to the
You
new
have to add the
one.
layer.
Sorry, I added it there and then did not. Let's do everything for now. It's better not like it literally says not to go for everything, but let's just go for everything for now. In your game, just changed it. Like let's just test with vagrants. Yes, it works. Just put a little, really low vagrants. Vignette, sorry, I keep pronouncing it wrong. Now ambient occlusion. Inside ambient occlusion, let's go for the bit of intensity. Uh, Looks creepy. Looks creepy in a different way. This is okay. Suit your style. This varies from person to person. Bloom, there isn't any light source to bloom, but still, like, let's just try it once. Make it 2, make it 1. There aren't any light sources. Bloom is basically like when there is a light source, it makes it much more prominent and bright. But there isn't any light source other than the sun, so you'll not get any effect from bloom in this current scene. Grain is that grainy film. Honestly, I guess you guys are very used to photo editing, so no point in going through it much. Basically, the thing is, you can use if your game does not look good, we go to the post processing and change things as you like to get the look you want. Amazing. Where is that thing? Why is it? Does it keep going there? There isn't any extra additional camera. What's with that point?
It seems like you have added a camera component to the post processing object. Just remove the component
No,
itself.
but I guess it should give it below it. But like, let me see if I can just remove the camera. No, it
Yeah,
doesn't
you can
do.
remove the camera from inspector.
Okay, yeah, it's in the inspector. Okay, now. Basically, I had made the processing like the basic empty into a camera. Like there's to explain my issue. Like in the inspector, you can basically add components to a basic instance, And in here, like when something's an empty, it's basically just an empty space where you can add something. So I had created an empty to keep the post processing, but accidentally I had also added a camera in it. So basically, it made the post processing a camera. But in this case, there's another different style I've used. I've created a cube, which basically is an empty which has the cube mesh filter, the cube mesh filter, and box collider. Box collider basically helps us to collide with an object, and like say if there is a wall and it does not have a collider, you can pass through the wall. But if it has a collider, it'll crash onto the wall. There are box collider, which is basically a form of a box. You set the sizes and put the center, and there are mesh colliders where you exactly tracing, because like say you have a chair, you don't just want to put a collider of a box in there. You want to basically structure the whole chair, making sure it collides exactly in that way. And in here I have added a camera. It's basically under this empty I've put it. So like basically its transform works in accordance to with this. So the cube you can see is at 655, 555, and the camera is at 0, 1.4 and 0, but they're at the nearly same location. So these values are in reference to the cubes. And this also helps us to like keep things in better arrangement. Like you creating a world, then you keep all the objects in a world in a single place. This structure is very useful. So for this video, this was it. Like in the next one, I'll show you how to make a basic FPS, like how to walk, and if time permits, we'll even go for a gun. And one more thing, as I was told, I was asked like to show how to use the asset store to import one of the guns. So I'm just going to show like a, because most of the time you will be not be making things in Blender, but using that downloading it from the asset store. Could have actually just showed it with the trees I had, but that little maneuver costed us a one whole year clicking on that button. Did it get imported? Yes, I think this was it. Models. Not model, this should be prefab, yes, prefab. Now let's focus on our cube. Actually, let's just focus on the camera. Let's add it to the camera. Let's go to the here. In the position until it starts appearing. Just put it in a better position at first. This is a point where it's very useful to have the game view, but I just select one part. Game view and the scene view one up beside the other. Actually, I'll have to rotate it. Now I think it should be visible. Yeah, really bad visibility. One thing you need to do, like, let me just improve its position and then show it to you. The gun is getting clipped, if you can notice, like things that are too close aren't being shown properly. So let's work on the clipping.
You can change that in camera.
Yeah. 0.1, yeah. Let's just go to 0.1. I was doing that, I was just giving them a bit of suspense. Okay, 0.1 was neither a good idea. Let's just make it 0. Yeah, who doesn't want a whole gun covering the whole game window? 0.45, 0.37, 7.5. This looks alright. Make sure it points exactly at the center because your game cursor, like the shoot sign, is usually at the very center. These are the various angles you can just move it along. So here it is, like if you add movement to the player, then you can just move around the terrain and shoot, which we will be covering in the upcoming videos. For here, this is it for now. I guess you have a Google Meet open where you can ask questions and wherever you are stuck. And best of luck for the game jam. Break a leg. Bye.